Video game consoles. Now you're probably like me and you once thought, hey, I know all the video game consoles there are. There's the PS5, the Dreamcast, Atari Jaguar. So I'm pretty dumb, right? And the other night I decided that I wanted to purchase an Ouya. Oh yeah! Not because I think it would work or because it's a great thing. I just like having little pieces of video game history, and if I can get it on the cheap and I can add it to my collection, then hey, why not? You know, no matter if it's successful or if it's the Ouya, I would like to have it if I can. And upon researching pricing on the Ouya, I discovered something far, far more interesting than the lowly Ouya. Aww. What is that thing, you might be asking yourself? Well, my friend, have you ever heard of Intellivision? No? Is that because you're less than 40 years old? Intellivision made a console. Or maybe it was more than one, I don't know, but I just know of the one, the Intellivision whatever it was, way back in the day. It had like a number pad on it and like a spinny disc dial button thing, and it was like a competitor to the Atari, and that's pretty much it. That's all there is to know about Intellivision. They made some games. Yeah, no, that's it. We've run out of Intellivision facts. Turns out though, they have decided to jump back into the console market. You might be thinking, what can Intellivision do that the PS5, the Xbox Series X, the Switch, or my home computer can't already do? Well, let me tell you. Nothing. The Intellivision Amico is what it's called, and do you remember that Butch Hartman Kickstarter from a few years ago where he was pitching like a family-friendly streaming alternative to Netflix? This is like that, but instead of a streaming service, it's a video game console. And I know what you're thinking, that sounds awful, and you're right. This thing, I mean, like, okay, so they were trying to go off of the old Intellivision design, right? So instead of having a video game controller that looks like it was meant to be used by a human, they made something that looks like a phone from 2008 with like RGB lights and a weird dial on it like the old console and trigger buttons. And it's terrible. It's also supposed to have wireless charging, but they gave it some goofy name like wireless prong charging or something. It's not wireless, it's a dock. Like, wireless charging is when you have a wireless charging pad and you drop your phone on it and it charges. This is a dock that you like click the controller into and it charges. That's not wireless, that doesn't count. You can't just make up names. Beyond that, the console is $250 or $300 if you get one of the special edition skins on it. $300. And you might be thinking, oh, well, maybe it's got a really cool design. Maybe it looks just like the old Intellivision. No. It looks like a cheap plastic tray you would put cheese and crackers on with two weird phone controllers. It is the ugliest thing
I've ever seen.
Maybe it's got like a great selection of games.
No.
It comes with 6 games built into the console that all look like shovelware from the Wii, and you have to pay $3 to $10 for every other game you want to get for the console. And unlike other consoles, all of these games supposedly are exclusive to the Intellivision Amico, including one game, Finnegan the Fox, that is literally just the game Fox and Forest, but instead of a nice 16-bit pixel art style, they have the developers make it again, but it looks like a crappy Flash game because they wanted it to be exclusive. They couldn't just put Fox and Forest on the Amico. They had to put this like Walmart knockoff version on the Amico, even though it's made by the same people that made the original game. Why? And if you want to add money to your account to buy games, you have to get these goofy RFID gift cards that scan wirelessly to the console. You buy, they're these little like gold cards, and you get it, and it's pre-charged with money on it, and you like swipe it on the Amico and it charges money to your account. It's just very odd the way they've chosen to do things with this machine. The guy that's directing this whole project has helped make like 100 different video games, and apparently, according to him, I don't know if this is true or not, maybe he's embellishing, maybe multiple people did this, but he made the Roblox noise. That was a really good impression. I know what you're thinking, right? You're like, $250 to $300, man? This thing has to have something worthwhile, right? Like, it's gotta be unique.
Oh, it's unique.
Oh, it is unique, alright.
Uniquely awful. The controllers are weird. They promised this really nice touchscreen on the phone, but if you watch the videos that they have on their channel of people using them, it looks like one of those like cheap old AliExpress iPhones that like it's supposed to look like an iPhone, but then when you pull it out of the box, it's got like one of those like pressure sensitive touchscreens, and it says this thing's got like haptic feedback and all this stuff, like it's gonna blow the PS5 controller, the DualSense, out of the water with this haptic feedback when you're playing Shark or whatever dumb exclusive game you decide to play for this thing. Please don't buy this. Please don't buy this. If this thing was like, I don't know, $100 maybe, I would consider it given the novelty of the item. You know, older gamers that say, oh, I remember the Intellivision. Oh, it'll be cool to have another Intellivision product, despite maybe it's not being a great product. You know, it's a collectible thing, but for $250 to $300 and saying that you're trying to like carve out this family-friendly market, like, dude, game consoles have parental controls on them. It's not like new to say that, oh, it's friendly for kids. Every service and piece of technology that has come out in the last like 13 years, that's a weird number, but I'm sticking with it, has parental controls. We don't need the Intellivision Amico to be kid-friendly. We don't need it. My favorite part of the videos on their channel are all the stock images that they use in the video, where they looked up stock images of people either using smartphones or game consoles, and they photoshopped out the smartphone or the console controller, and they photoshopped in the Amico controller, but then they cut to real footage of real people using the system. So I part of me is wondering why you couldn't just take pictures of them. Couldn't you just make your own stock images for the purposes of this trailer? I feel like you kind of like went the long route in photoshopping stuff out of pre-existing pictures. You could have made this easier on yourselves. And even when they do show video footage of people using the console, I feel like they're hiding things from us. Either they're not showing the screen and it's just people sitting on a couch going, oh, bleh, bleh, reacting to things that apparently, evidently, are happening in front of them. They're not, but they're reacting. Or coincidentally, as someone goes to do something with the controller, like they said, it has motion controls, right? So you can swing like you're doing Wii bowling or whatever with the controller, but I think this console has cornhole. That's like its Wii sports game is cornhole. And conveniently, as the woman in the trailer is about to swing the remote to throw her beanbag, the camera pans behind her so you can't see what she's doing with her hand, so she could very well be swiping something with her thumb or some other devious thing. Like, if you want to show us that thing, show it to us. Don't hide it. Show me that it works. And don't make a 5-minute video showing us all the things that the controller can and can't survive, mainly because we know you did it to show us your Ferrari, okay? We don't care that the controller can survive being inside a Ferrari. We don't care. What's funny is that this comes right about the same time that Atari's new console, which is more or less a Linux computer in a cute Atari shell, is coming out. Or maybe it's already come out, I'm not sure. The Amico thing is supposed to come out in October, and the Atari thing may or may not have already come out, I'm not sure. I'll double check and put it on the screen when it comes out, or if it came out. But that thing is like, it's a computer, it can play like, you know, modern games to some extent. It doesn't have like an RTX 3080 in it or anything, but you know, it can game. It's got some cool like Atari flashback stuff in it. It's got some modernized version of some classic Atari games. It looks like, and I think it's taken a long time to come out, but that thing looks like Atari said, you know, we want to make a cool thing that Atari fans will enjoy and maybe get some practical use out of, using it as a home computer, because it's, you know, it's like $400 or $500 or something like that. You know, instead of spending $1,500 on a computer that may or may not even have a graphics card right now. Thanks, Bitcoin. I don't think I would dunk that hard on the console if it wasn't so expensive and so ugly and so seemingly deceptive with its marketing. Something about it is telling me that it's not going to do a lot of the things they say it's going to do. They also said that there's going to be physical editions of some of the games that you can get for $20.
Now, for all you collectors out there, you'll be happy to know that not only can you download games digitally, but we also have physical media as well, and we'll be releasing more information about that later this year.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, I'm looking at the pictures and the videos of this thing, I don't see where a game goes into this. I don't see where like a card or a disc or whatever is going to go into this like plastic charcuterie board looking thing. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm assuming it's not actually going to be a physical game, and it's going to be like a piece of artwork with like a QR code or something, or one of those RFID things that you like swipe on the console to make the game play. I don't know. But I don't think it's going to be physical in the traditional sense. And it seems like that's deceptive, again, that they're not explaining how it's going to work. They're just, oh, it's a physical edition. My ass. I don't think there's a lot of people that are going to see this video that are going to say, hey, I pre-ordered that thing, man. I'm going to assume that most of you didn't even know this thing was coming out, especially guessing by the views and stuff on their channel. And the fact that I had never even heard of it, and I'm usually pretty, like, you know, with the gamer news. Never heard of it. I just found it on GameStop's website, looking for the Ouya. Oh yeah! That's how I found this thing, by searching for the Ouya. Who would win in a fight, Ouya or Intellivision Amico? I don't think Ouyas work anymore, so probably the Amico. Toilet seat looking ass bitch. I thought this would be a fun little breakaway video from my usual content. I'd like to make some more videos like this. Let me know what you thought about it. Like and subscribe if you liked what you saw and want more of that thing. Please. I make content every week, and it's always about video game stuff, probably, unless people want me to make stuff about other things, and we'll see. If you haven't already, check out my last video on the game Control. I put a lot of work into that one. It's got some little skits, some little funny haha, and I really enjoyed making that. And I'm enjoying making this, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of me in front of this wall with Godzilla and my automaton. Anyway, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.